What is going on, YouTube? Averse John Stanek from Johnny Radio here, bringing you another album of the month, this time for December 2023, and I'm so excited. It is finally here, I.O. by Peter Gabriel, an album that at this point was 21 plus years in the making since he, kind of announced he was making it right after 2002's Up, which was his last proper studio album. Crazy to think about at this point. I had even kind of lost hope, actually, 5 years ago, thinking this is never going to happen. But hey, we got some grumblings about some studio recordings in 2021, and then sure enough, every month this year, he's released one of the 12 songs whenever there was a full moon outside, which was an interesting choice and kind of exciting at first, especially like when the first couple singles, Panopticon, came out, and The Court, which is one of my favorite tracks on the album. But by the time, more than half the year went by, I think it took a little bit of the wind out of the sails of the excitement of the album, for me personally anyway, because I always like to be surprised at least by half of an album when an album's released, like not have all the singles out prior to. But, that was a choice, and hey, he did grace us with double the fun here. He put two different mixes on the album, the bright side mix and the dark side mix. They were mixed by two different producers, and they're pretty similar, honestly, but it gives you just a little bit of a different taste of the songs. I enjoy both pretty much the same. But yeah, interesting choices with this album by Peter Gabriel that I think maybe didn't work for the best in the long run. But all that aside, I'm just happy to have a Peter Gabriel album in 2023. And, I wasn't expecting much in the way of going back to his 80s output where he was really reinventing the wheel in world music and new kinds of pop music in the late 80s, all that stuff, like a true trailblazer at that time. At this point, I was just expecting, some wonderful melodies, maybe some dark stuff, maybe some upbeat stuff. And that's exactly what we got. It's kind of like a little bit of a mixed bag of everything to really love about Peter Gabriel. The two tracks I already mentioned are a little more on the upbeat rocking kind of side of things. There's a lot of really cool, just kind of stripped down ballads on here. And I think those are some of the best songs, actually, because lyrically they can be very poignant, especially about mortality and the passage of time. Playing for Time is one of those gems on this album, definitely. And his vocals are still untouched. They sound like they did 20 years ago. I mean, Peter Gabriel, just one of the greatest voices of all time, and he's still hitting those high notes just perfectly and with so much raw emotion, especially on that song in particular. I'm not going to talk about every song on here, but there's some that are weaker than others. I.O., the title track, would be a little on the weaker side of things in my book. But some of the other ballads on here, Love Can Heal is just gorgeous. And Still, another one that kind of deals with, losing someone and then still, grieving for them, but still feeling their presence in your life. Really, to me, I think it's actually more poignant than the song I Grieve off of Up, which is saying something, because that track, had been rolling around in his repertoire for a few years, even before that came out. But then, there's some surprises here as far as some of the upbeat stuff, which has even some horn arrangements, which are really cool, like the song Olive Tree, I think is just like a really kind of happy song. Road to Joy is another one, joy being in the title. So you get a little bit of, the darkness and the brightness, not just with the mixes, but with the subject matter. And I've only listened to the album a couple times now, so I don't think it's quite fair for me to judge it 100% at this point, but I feel like there's going to be all those songs that I mentioned. I feel like I'm going to be coming back to and maybe growing on me a bit more. Playing for Time, yet again, is one that kind of reminds me of one of my favorite Peter Gabriel tracks of all time, Washing of the Water. Just and its musical simplicity and the way his vocal really just kind of carries the song. Quite lovely. Another one that was cool was Four Kinds of Horses, which with the female vocal, it almost harkened back to like a Games Without Frontiers kind of thing from the 80s. So, you know, you get a little bit of just every little era and thing that there is to love. However, I would have loved to have a little bit more of like the world music Peter Gabriel that he gave us more hints of on Up, and maybe 12 tracks is a little bloated, especially the runtime. Many of these songs are 6+ minutes, and it kind of feels its weight after all is said and done, especially if you listen to both mixes back to back. But again, I'm not complaining here because any Peter Gabriel is good Peter Gabriel. And I really hope that there's more to come, that we don't have to wait 40 years from here, which means like probably never. But in the meantime, highly recommend it. I mean, it's Peter Gabriel, for God's sakes. If I had to give it a grade right now, I give it a strong 7 out of 10. Definitely recommend. If I had to pick my 2 favorite songs, at the moment, I'm going to go with The Court, which I still think is just so cool. I think it's probably the most progressive alternative track on the album, so I really appreciated that one. And then I'm gonna go with probably Love Can Heal, because I just felt like such a positive, I almost felt like I was I don't know, doing some kind of meditation listening to that song, and it just put me in a good vibe. And so for that reason alone, there's a lot to love on this record. So thank you, Peter Gabriel, for finally putting this out. And guys, let me know in the comments what you think. What are your 2 favorite tracks? And are you hoping for more Peter Gabriel? And guys, be sure to stay tuned for the top 5 Peter Gabriel albums this Friday. We got top 5s every Friday, album reviews, so much more. Thank you for watching. And as always, Viva La Vinyl. So guys, thanks so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and be sure to ring the bell for notifications so you can always see great quality content like you're seeing on the screen right now. Thank you so much for supporting Johnny Radio, and I'll see you soon.